afternoon and good morning. Welcome. And today we are gathering under the topic Art in the Digital Age, tips to navigate the maze of digital art. And we would like to thank Residence Unlimited, Natalie and the For All team and for this workshop. And it has been a great pleasure to be a part of Residence Unlimited since February. And in short, I want to talk about who is among us today and what we are doing. And to begin to Hamza Kirbas multidisciplinary practice uses many different aspects of arts such as 3D visuals, 3D animations, sculpture installations, site-specific installations, augmented reality and artificial intelligence. Since 2022, he has been serving as a digital art curator at Mercer Labs, Museum of Technology in New York. And Lulu Meng is an multidisciplinary artist, born in Taiwan and based in Brooklyn. Their conceptual multimedia work embodies interconnection humanity and using interpretation of relatable forms such as clothing, text, and games. Their interactive projects explore the interdependence of individuals within the whole and the vice versa. And lastly, I'd like to introduce myself a little bit briefly. I'm Esra Özkan. Since 2011, I'm an independent curator based in Istanbul, and my profession is immersive and the emerging technology in art. And my curatorial and academic writings combine philosophy with post-digital terminology and the effects of post-human concept in this interdisciplinary arts. And my approaches explores the boundaries between physical and the virtual worlds and pushing traditional art forms. And lastly, since 2021, I'm a lecturer in the different universities, and generally my class is art in the digital age, the artificial intelligence and art, and the new media. So today I'm going to share my presentation on the development of emerging technology since the 19th and before 19th actually. And lastly, at the end of my presentation, I want to give some tips about using artificial intelligence programs such as Dolly, Midjourney, and Runway. And normally every day we are using some programs, and I'm gonna just only tips for especially these three programs. Yes, and firstly I'd like to introduce a short brief of history of digital art. It's a very, very short, sorry for that for the time. Firstly, 2019's futurism of art and abstraction. Conceptually, the birth of digital art is deeply rooted in the philosophies that shaped avant-garde art movements through the early 20th century, and key moments like modernism, futurism, abstraction, and op art were reactions to the swift adjustments in the transportation and communication, as well as new scientific backgrounds that emerged from wartime in the Second World War. And in 1950s and 1950s is important for us because in the pioneering effort, American mathematician Ben Lapsky leveraged on oscilloscope. Actually, oscilloscope is commonly used in medicine, engineering, and telecommunications. Were not intended an artistic medium, and Lapsky unexpected use anticipates later fusion of an art competing. And he's an American artist, and also using manipulated electronic signals. And after that, the photograph done in the shape of waves. And after that, to continue to years and years, in the 1960s, the appearing in scientific labs, and also this term means artists exploring the codes and the drawing and the codes thing. And to continue, and one of the most artists, and Alan Caprow, created Hello artwork. It's a happening, it's a movement actually, but when we talk about what Alan Caprow idea, we are mentioning the happening art, and also we are talking in the digital age, not only contemporary art and modern arts historian. So, and late 1916s, there was one opening cybernetic serendipity exhibition, and created by Jessica Richard, Institute of Contemporary Arts, London. And this is the first exhibition and the first digital art exhibition. It's very important for us actually. And also Namjoon Paik artwork is very, very important in that time. And the show had many artists. And also after this show, to all development, especially this digital art exhibitions, continue. And add a bit back, and also here is the another. Just I'm only giving you just only key topics and the highlights, and to continue to 1970s. The years is the computational art. During the 16 and 19s, the realm of digital art was primarily characterized by algorithm sketches, where the outcomes of codes crafted by artists were manifested on paper through the use of pamphletries, and this period also saw the emerge of contemporary generative films, which similarly harness the creative potential of programming languages. And also I don't like one highlight things. I say one highlight things, and all the digital arts development, in fact, effects on the music, cinema, VR, and every kind of the arts creative industries. But today we are gonna show an algorithmic things and also program. That's why I only chosen the algorithmic arts and digital arts. But maybe next time we will talk about VR and other technologies. So, and continue a bit 1980s and 1990s. Yeah, it's there was lots of things in this. And yes, from the 19th through the early 20s, actually to millenniums, the essence of digital art was largely defined as art that originates in the digital realm, and crafted, preserved, and shared through digital means. And in this era, and witness the evolution of digital artworks to embody elements that are now an essential medium. And here is generally 19th when internet booming in that time, and here is the important artists Alex Svulgin and Olivia Lina. And at that time, I'd like to mention very, very important artist Harold Cohen. Also, his artworks exhibit in Whitney Museum. You go and see. I truly suggest it. And Harold Cohen was a British born artist who was noted as the creator of Aaron, a computer program designed to produce paintings and drawings autonomously. And his work in intersection of computer, artificial intelligence, and painting lead to exhibitions at many museums, including of course, Tate in London. And here's the first artwork, and the early 19th, he worked with the the Aryan machine. And also, the internet developed rapidly in the mid-19th, not only new technical possibilities for creating artworks, but also fascinating new forms of self-expression and establish preconditions of creation of conceptual and new space. And in the 19th, both one of the most important elements of digital art, accessibility, like today. And the internet and personal computers gave artists the freedom to easily experiment with emerging technologies. And also generally we are talking with net art and an internet art to the 19 terms. And we are continuing to fastly, I'm lost, okay, millenniums, yes. Like this, yeah, there are 3 important artwork. And also the early millenniums, artists shared exploring different facets of digital technology and the experiment with various software tools to create integrated designs that we were impossible to achieve through the traditional mediums. And in mid-millenniums, rise of social media, and the mid-20s saw a rise in social media platforms like MySpace, Facebook, and later Instagram, which provided artists with new platforms to showcase their work. And this period, and also the Adobe, first Adobe series appeared in mid-millenniums, and late millenniums to present new possibilities to digital art has explored new possibilities with developments in AR, VR, and artificial intelligence, and artists are now creating immersive experiences that challenge our perception of reality. And also pioneers like Team Lab and another artists. And today, generally, I'm asking what is art in the digital age for you? It's the big question, because we're talking about when we are talking about today's art, we generally mention the contemporary art, but contemporary art and a digital art and a today's art, I think there is a different definition. And also we are trying to and today's art, what is today's art? And at the same time, the technology is influencing all aspects of art, and technology is impacting every part of art, including literally movies, music, and another creative industries. And I want to show to the, yes, and also there is many different technologies, and the deep learning and the machine learning, and one of the most important artists, Mario Klingemann, and also VR, and the NFTs, people in the park, and immersive spaces. And today we will focus more specifically on algorithms, because we will be using a program designed for this workshop, and also for workshop I will give quick tips for writing prompts. When you using a DALL-E or Runway and Midjourney and another generally ChatGPT, and you need any tips for the communicate with the machine, communicate with the computer. Firstly, you need to define your purpose to be specifically. Choose a type of prompt. Decide what type of writing. You are a storyteller and you have a words. So you need to be defined to very specifically. And after that, consider your audiences. Because what's your audience? What's your target group to mention it. And also be clear and conscious. And another one is incorporate specific details like time or the perspective. When you add in time in your prompt, the AI show and mention in your time. And also another one is a perspective. It's a really important prompt. Close up and the side view, you need and be specifically. And you can add mood, for example, joyful, enjoyable, peaceful emotions. Because when you add these topics, this highlighted, your image is, going on differently, and the machine shows different artworks for you. And also language and with adjectives correction is more important. And act as if is another one. Generally, when we are writing and talking with the machine, generally we have to use the generate or generate an image or drawing an image. Only we have to talk with the act or to give me my example, something like that. And avoids overloading. It's also another important point, because when you are writing many things and so many long texts, the machine sometimes doesn't work because you need to be specified. For example, and before I want to show some programs. This program is a Midjourney, and also here is my prompt: create an image, and I wrote an act: create an image of group of people lounging at dinner table, and they are 6 artists, and also the number is very important. And who are the painters is a very personalized painters. 6 artists and painters is a good one. And the laughing is another act and also another emotion in your prompt. And a dinner table while out of the restaurant is another place. So I try to define the restaurant to create an image, a true image. Set in a cozy and dimly lit restaurant with a warm ambient light. The table at the center of the room is adorned with a crepes with white tablecloth and surrounded by comfortable chairs. But I'll show you the minutes later. When I write and surrounded by comfortable chairs, machine cannot understand exactly. That's why I have to change to another to example. So when I add red chairs and also again in a group of people lounging at dinner and the places, and here's my last one. Is that really avoids pieces, because I wrote many things, many details, but it doesn't work. Let me see. Firstly, I wrote an image, create an image, group of people lounging and surrounded by comfortable chairs. And every time I change my words, and also I imagine in my mind to the image, to creating image, because generally I know what I want, but machine no, no idea. That's why I'm writing to my prompt, to my words, and then give me and the people, the 6 people laughing and then painting. But after that, when I write to cozy place in a restaurant, something is changing. And to continue. And the program is a Midjourney. And then when you use a Midjourney, you can use also Discord. And now a big one. I choose another. And also creating again. And after that, I add on red chairs to more specifically. And I add red chairs, show me to the different image, the create a different image, and also to Van Gogh, some flowers. I add one on the wall. You can see, yes. And in fact, all over the restaurants wall, you can see in a Van Gogh sunflowers because I wrote it. So in another example is another program is Runaway. Also I using same prompt. We have 6 people and we are an artist. We went to dinner and the cozy restaurant. And when the runway, there's a difference between the Midjourney to runway, because when you are in an image on runway, you can choose on style, and it's a bit different. And maybe Hamza wanna say something to. Are you using this one?
Yeah, we use maybe 1,000
every
times.
time. Yes,
every
yes.
time we use.
Generally, we are using every day.
No, because we use like a preferences image, you know. It's when I talking about my project after you.
Yeah, also you are using.
Yes. We use. Say every artist should be used.
Yes, every digitalized and digital creators. Well, actually, you can learn to the mindset, to writing, to also the storytelling, and you are an author, so you can write your story more and deeply. And the aspects is different from the dolly, but I think it's okay because I added the red chairs, red something, and the people loving in the restaurant is cozy, and many things. So let's try together now on the dolly. Okay. Yes. So in my mind, I need your words. For example, I'm in a forest, and we are in the forest, and what will we see? And then after that, we will write down just a tiny text, and then waiting for the understanding body and the show to us to any image. So, yes, I need your words. In the forest, and in a sunny day, what can we be able to do in the forest?
I was gonna say something.
Yeah. Maybe I can
imagine it.
Dog, maybe.
Bear.
As the first one is a dog, okay. Another one is.
Somebody said bear.
Bear.
Okay.
A waterfall.
Yeah. Water.
Waterfall.
Waterfall. I'm sorry.
Harry Potter.
Is it true? No. Fall.
Yeah.
Fall.
Fall. Yeah.
Harry Potter. Okay. Is a blue one. It's really important. Okay. And
Rihanna. I'm joking. No.
Okay.
Right.
Not Rihanna.
rain,
Rain.
like something weather related.
Okay. Rain is
Like raining, maybe?
raining, yeah.
As in, sorry, raining, yeah. Like it's raining.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rainy day maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Another one. We need more actually. Maybe trees because no forest. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Birds.
Birds. Sure. Birds. Yes. Okay.
Light.
Okay, let me try to. No. We need 2 or 3 more words.
The colors.
The flowers. Yes, sunflowers. I like the sunflowers. Can I get?
Sushi.
Sushi.
More specify. You're right.
Now we serve sunflowers with sushi.
Sushi. Fish.
Fish.
And wave.
Whale.
Okay.
Without wave is not good.
Fish.
Okay, let's do it.
And last the bay.
Whale. Whale.
Whale.
Wave. W
Mm-hmm.
H.
H
Just 1 second.
V.
I have to choose colors personally.
dalga.
Okay. But we don't have any C. About we have
Second
water.
second W is V.
Oh, sorry.
I think.
What about something that's scary?
Okay. And last one is. Natalie, do you want to say one more? Crunch
Now I imagine it. It's Harry Potter, fly with baguette, and
Okay,
sunflowers
right.
made of fish.
Okay.
Something.
I'm writing Harry Potter flying. No, flying on the bird. And yes, continue. Let me try to one sentence together.
You have to add an L, flying.
Awesome. Yes. And yeah, continue. I'm waiting.
And a bear
Yeah, there.
kills the bird or eats the bird.
Eats the bird. Okay. Oh, sad story. Eats the bird. Come on. Yeah. And
It's the bird. Eats the.
awesome.
Yeah.
Something is
On a rainy day. Yes.
on a rain bird on a rainy day. And continue. I have a dog, waterfall, bear, sushi. What about sushi, Aida?
Maybe bear gonna make a sushi.
Yes.
Make or eat? Make a sushi.
And make sushi.
And make sushi.
Eat
And
sushi
make-
with the dog.
With
Yeah.
dog. Okay, it's a friendship. Okay, what about trees and fish, wave and waterfall? Yeah.
On the table.
Here is the fish. Wait, yes. On the table.
It's inside the glass. Have a trees.
On
Something.
the table.
Uh-huh.
Again, please. On the table. There are.
Just translate for me.
Okay.
Most of the.
There are few fish. The 5 fish even. There. Wave and waterfall. Okay, I need another. Wave and waterfall. Yes,
Table floating on the wave.
table. Another sentence.
Floating, yeah.
Yeah, but another sentence. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, okay. Table. Floating. And again
On the wave.
on the wave. Is that right? Is okay? Okay. And sorry. Sorry. Yeah, which one? Under?
on O-N.
On the wave. Okay. Firstly,
O yazacağım, U değil.
sorry, there is an
On.
okay, okay. Sorry. Okay. We are ready. Create
Good.
an image. That's right.
Merakla bekliyorsun. I'm wondering about that. Also, when we use it, so excited. You drink already. You're wondering, it's coming what?
Magical and Studios, okay.
Harry looks weird.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Everywhere is your sushi.
I'm back in ChatGPT. Can you more detailed this? I'm sorry, detailed this text. And after that, emergencies. Okay. Visit trams and glasses. Okay, better than us. Okay, stop. No.
I gotta keep going.
Wow.
No, no.
And creating an image. Okay.
Jeez.
After create the image, who is this art? Mine, yours?
Everyone.
This is problem, today's AI problems. We create collective.
Waiting.
And too much to process.
Yes. Add more things.
Oh.
No, yes. Because, as I said before, there are more and more details.
Oh, you know you can't
Yeah.
avoid
So answer you.
When it has a little, yes. Okay. Maybe we can try only this side and just try. Great. Image. Let's try. Oh, an image also. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes, there's some dark clothes and cool.
Sushi bird.
Sushi.
Sushi board.
Aida, did you see it? Your sushi.
This is sushi.
The bird.
Yes. Okay, yeah. And yes, here that as I mentioned is a very important prompt to the idea of your writing your prompt. And when you see these rules, you write the rules to your text, your story. The AI is working really good. So thank you for the
Thank you.
attention from my part, and also the stage is Lulu's now. And
We, hang on,
okay,
okay.
here we go.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
So different.
It's really bright.
Yes, it's different. Is the platform?
Oh, sorry, just bear with me. Something. Okay, technology. It's okay. So maybe while you're saying this, just get a sense. This is how it should look. And just let's move on. So I want to thank you for the opportunities and joining this talk. And I am Lulu Meng, and I also work here at Residence Unlimited. I'm also a resident artist back in 2015. First I want to just respond to your talk. I really appreciate the visual presentation. Somehow like the way it's not the typical like slideshow. It's like, you know, like the really linear. Somehow it almost remind me working in the studio. I actually have a storyboard like this. It's everything I scatter around, and then just ideas eventually all come together. Like I think that I want to change the beginning of how I start my talk, because that remind me of like how I put my projects together, your presentation. So I I make installation objects and different like using different mediums to make work, and digital like component is part of my recent project in the past few years. But still in the creative process, I kind of as far as my presentation, I have like a different parts, and then how I use like different mediums and approach to put them together. And today specifically for this talk, because it's about the digital digital art. So I want to show like how like I combine digital components with the physical like material that I'm using. So firstly, okay. And so for visual, this is what you see like. It's like my work is I don't know whichever way. Oh yeah, maybe you show your website. Like maybe that's just my website. I don't know.
We have 2 laptops. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
You're so digital.
I hope it's right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not there. Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay.
So I want to start with like quickly talked about a few projects that relate to this like. So say this is the very beginning of like how I use digital components in my work. It's also interactive. So you know the telephone. You know when you're a kid, you used to cups to play like to use telephone. That's just telephone. So because I make installation with like the materials, like physical material, but then also thinking a lot about living in this like digital world and technologies like just really around us. No matter you see it, you're consciously aware of it or not, they're just there. So how do I combine this like physical and also like technology that to still present something that's like tangible? But meanwhile, kind of like the technology is always hidden there, but we are just using them. So what I did is I made this installation inside each of this component. It's actually a speaker and with sound like and with like the audio player. Each one is a unit. Then so when people see it, then you see like a physical object hanging on the wall, and meanwhile there's a cup that you can grab. And then then you have to make the effort to take the cup and walk away to create a tension, and then you can hear the sound from within. And each sound is an audio recording. I had an interview. I was doing a residency in Netherlands, so there was an interview with a story from like a local people that I met. So this is like kind of like the very beginning when I started to thinking about using digital components. Like kind of like I still really enjoy making physical project, but meanwhile like my lived experience is like technology is there, and how do I make use of it then to present like my experience as a person living in the time right now. So like my most recent work, I use a lot of like specific components. Say for the component is like Arduino, maybe some of you know, it's like a microchip, and then you program the really simple programming, and you can use a lot of applications. Say for me, I mostly use it for control LEDs, and you can use it like for like a motion sensor, a lot of application that you can use. So this project, it's like, again, when you walk into the space, you see something hanging on the wall and like this. But actually each unit, there's a LED lights inside. And the surface is like two mirrors. So basically it's a light box with the window is a two mirror. So when the light inside is on, and then you get to see the component inside. And can I? Something like this. So you see that on the floor, when the light is on, you see what the component, each one is like there's something inside each like a door. But when the light is off, it tends to be a mirror. So this is one example. So when you see inside, you see something there, but then if the light is not on, you don't see something there. So I'm also playing with like, again, the technology. You can control light, and then you can have the timing. So the work itself become like a time-based work, because basically you need to stay there, and then there's a timing. You get to see what's inside and what's not, and you get to experience different things. So I was also thinking about like, you say like we have a phone, and the phone is also identity, kind of. When the phone is on, you see the content there. That content is basically whatever you are looking, that's like identity of the home phone holder or something. And each dorm is also a story inside. Only when the light is on, you get to see what's inside, but when it's not, then it's just a reflective surface, whatever that project on that surface, and you see like that's on the surface. So I become really interested in this idea of like, this is like something, a surface is like, almost like anything. We are a box, or computer is a box, and cell phone is a box. and whatever like that's inside requires the light to be on so that we can see what's inside. So later, it's like I do more work like this, and this is another one example. It's again, this is actually I did it during the. It's inspired by title is a Zoom because very obvious it's a Zoom window. So it was I did make it during the pandemic, and then so I built a box again. The surfaces I printed the photograph that I took during the pandemic of the sky, and then printed on canvas, and then become a box, and then the box they have like the windows carved open again, some of them with like 2 mirrors. So again, this idea is that you can look into it only when the time is right. So kind of like when I mentioned about the time-based work, it's also like you don't see everything all at once. It's not like you're standing in front of a painting, and then it's again the painting is not like see everything at once. But then for me, that's something like more like a still and fixed. But then how do I make use of the this material, but still have a sense of like time in my work? So that's like something, and again, it's like everything, the little white box here is a microchip, and everything is like inside, and that to control the time, the timing of the lights. And then I'm going to show you a real example now, like real life. So, well, I'm changing. I need to go back to mine so I can show the program. Yeah, thank you. So when I say the Arduino, this thing, it's just like it's a for people you don't know, it's something like this. This is actually a mini computer, so you can write codes on it, and then you put like whatever that you wanted to do in the in this. You plug it into the computer, and then this is the coding program that I use to write code. Codes, and then so this particular code turned to be something like this. So this will run on a loop like about a minute and a half. So what you see is similarly like a landscape, but then with like many layers. But what it represents is actually the data of past 40 years, how much global surface temperature has increased. So that this is my recent work again, is I have this access to certain data, and also certain like social and political like issue like around us. But then data, and how do I, again, to bridge the digital data and also the material world, and also to talk about something pretty heavy, but something still that might intrigue the viewer to look. So basically the data, you can just imagine like this is like horizontal, the bottom line is the average of the past 100 years, the average of the global surface temperature, and then each line, like the shape, like each line is a 5-year interval of how much temperature has increased from January. This is January. This is December. So the very top line, the first one down at the bottom is like 1980, and then 85, 90, and the top was 2020. So that's again, is I decide this application, how do I use the digital component like to combine with like this physical material. They are vellum and light box. How to put this together and to talk about like the time and also the issue I'm having right now. So the other one example is this is more graphic, so maybe it's now you might be able to so as you can see, like this is another data set that I work on. So this is like school shooting data. So this is you can clearly see like from 70 to 2022. Like this is the numbers of like how much school shooting had happened in each state in that year. So if you see, you can see this is like all the data. So this is like all the numbers for me. So when I eventually like got this data set, and then I was thinking, how can I transform this to be a visual work and with physical material? And then eventually it became this work. So sorry, I actually keep changing it. But then you mentioned, do you remember that the data set is somewhere at the top? Anyway, you remember the data set that just like all the numbers over there in the grid, and eventually it became like this. So each circle is the size of the circle represents like the numbers of the shooting. So the larger the circle and the more of the shootings. But the placement is just like basically you replace the numbers become the circle, and it's become like this. And then in terms of light, when there's again this idea of like why light is important. I think light again is this idea of when there's a light, you get to see more content from whatever is like projecting on you. But when there's no light, you only see the surface. So when there's no light inside, it's a surface like this, maybe many in the layers, but you don't see the whole complexity in or under. But then when the light is on, then you started to be able to see the colors. Of course, I think that's very easy to relate. It's about shooting, and then you get to see the complexity and how many layers is underneath it, and what had happened. So it's also, again, it's a loop, and keep like a looping, showing you these physical objects with the depths within it. So to conclude my presentation, so basically it's like kind of like the way I'm making work right now is to just really how do I use like the physical materials, and meanwhile having like this digital resources and not the information like data, and also like the skill of like writing simple code, not like the very complicated things it's going to present. And just like for me, it's a really simple code, like telling, okay, this LED to light on certain like how many like seconds, and then change to the next LEDs. And for me, this is some sort of logic of each area that I want the light to correspond with the material like in front of it. And that's like my way of like using, okay, that's I can benefit my work. I see my work can be, it opens up potential for me to use digital media and component to combine with this physical material that I'm really familiar with. It opens up the door and possibility for me to explore more, and also both presentational wise, but also conceptual and philosophical wise, and thinking about where basically one foot in the real world and one foot in the digital world, and to combine them together, how it can be. Okay, thank you. That's my presentation. Yeah.
Next one.
We have a.
I think it's we have.
You have
Yes. Hello, I am Hamza. Firstly, thank you for coming or joined us. And firstly, I want to talking about myself a little bit because Esra say something about me also. And after, I want to show my practice and my portfolio. I show some of my artwork, and after I show how I did the digital project. It's for my art, for my artwork, and this is my old project. But firstly, I wanna say actually I don't label myself as digital artist because I feel like I'm limiting my artistic practice when I say that. My artistic practice is actually multidisciplinary because my education is primarily in sculpture and painting, but I've been interested in digital programs since a young age. You know, because my whole family is photographer, and I can find artistic practice as follows. I find the best image that serves my dots and proceed from there. And so when I wanted to create an artwork from an idea, I choose the most impactful image, like every artist, you know, the one of that will resonate with the audience and the medium accordingly, because not every talks can be translated into the digital traditional art, because every idea needs different materials for your physical art. I use digital tools in many art practice, in many projects. For example, when I create an installation, I first sketch my ideas, then immediately I make 3D model or animating for my project, essentially seeing the finished version of the artwork beforehand. And this provides a great advantage for this process. You can use digital 3D programs and the now widespread artificial intelligence apps in a way that suits your own artistic practice, like Esra say about the AI. Because every new material brings new perspective and allows you to catch up with the times. This is my opinion actually. Whether you are a sculptor or painter, I believe you should definitely use digital tools, because it's digital tools. You'll be more than fast and more focusing, and you find new material. That's easy for create your art. If we think of it purely as a digital art, it branches out within itself. There is modeling, animation, video mapping, interactive mapping, artificial intelligence, machine learning something, and many other techniques and production methods. For example, we are currently producing many digital artworks at Mercer Digital Art Museum. Also, its Digital Art Museum team is here. Jorge, Oscar, Tess, they are digital artists. Oscar did the modeling, Jorge and Tess used the Blender and other software for animation. And since our time is limited, I can start this project. How can I did this project? And after I show my other artworks also. This is a couple months ago I did this project. Quickly, it's normally in this project, I started with an idea. I like play with images because I see images as an extension of humans and objects in this project. But generally, in my practice, I think it's more than like a conceptual art, because I use words and sign language, and you know, it's like a installation, interactive also. In this project, I create a flower, filed and with chairs arranged on the land with the backs of the chair forming stairs. The chair is actually an image that is an extension of the human body. And what I focus on actually refers to many things. For example, I particularly refer to concept of migration in today's world. Social, political, and economic events cause people to change it place. You know, it's everyone is moved and something like this. Chair images for me is like a human body, and it's you know, it's Marshall McLuhan also say the medium is the message. It's everything is extension of every object, in my opinion, actually, extension of human body and life and nature and everything. Firstly, for this project, but before AI, like a Midjourney and something like this, just I imagine it, and after I create like a 3D scan, 3D project, 3D project for my idea. For example, when I create the installation, also physical installation, before I did 3D modeling, and after I start, because before I start my physical project, I see how it looks. That's good or not. I change something. I find new something, and like this. And now I use Cinema 4D, by the way. I use Cinema 4D software and also rendering. Its project is look like this. Firstly, I wanna show you the video, and after I can talk about this project. So it looks dark here. Maybe a little bit scary, I don't know, I'm not sure. But it's more dramatical. I like dramatical and without people, because I want to use objects. It's like a reference of the people and the human. It's like this, it's loop, it's continue like this. It's just cameras move inside the scan. And now, when I start this project, I have an idea. Okay, I did something like this, something like a normal, like every artist. I use AI. Can you create my idea like an image? AI give me this
What
image.
is your prompt? What is your keywords?
I
Chair,
don't
okay.
remember now.
Class,
Actually,
okay.
it's chair on the wave and the sea, and you know, it's light is it's like a dark and also light. I don't remember now. I can write, but it's made of Midjourney. But actually, it's not like my final project. This one, because I can change. Because just you know, it's I think is AI now is not enough for my imagination. Because maybe after 5 years, because when you today we write something, it's not the same exactly like 100% like your ideas. It's come to you different something. And now it's all, I think it's all software. It's not like a real-time software like a Touch Designer, for example. Touch Designer is a real-time software, but it's like a Blender, Cinema 4D, and Maya, Houdini, something. It's similar programs. Inside is almost the same. It's just, for example, Tess and Jorge used the Blender. Also, it's the same. It's similar something. But now, firstly, if you know Photoshop, its process, it's similar like a Photoshop, but it's more focusing and start with your idea for learning the software. And for example, we can recreate, because time is short. I want to show you how can I create this project. And actually, I closed my flowers and random, and this is my flowers. And this is cloner, my chair. I have a chair, I clone it like this. In software, for example, it's cloner here. You choose the cloner, and I have a chair. For example, can I choose another like a glass? I have like a library.
I have the first question.
Yeah.
Where did you find the chair? You made it, or it's already?
Actually,
It's an important one.
I did.
Yes.
Actually, I have a real installation with this chair.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
how can I show? Just.
And another one, when I find some models.
I did the modeling.
But how you're,
This is
how
my
you can find
this
the-
is my real project. It's last year I exhibit in Venice. This is my real chair. I use like for example, when I create like a installation something, I use the same image for another project also. This is my real project. Also here is sign language alphabets made of sculpture. Just also when you need something, for example, you need fish, you can't modeling. If you find you find free or you pay money and you get the fish, and after you use for your project, for example. But it's generally have a many free something for you use your projects. But modeling also, he's a modeling artist. When with him, when we need something for model, he modeling
But
for us.
where did you find it? In another, which website can you suggest to,
Yes.
to
Yes.
audiences?
Yes.
That's why I'm saying
Yes.
so sorry. I don't want to disrupt you,
Okay.
but
Okay. I
I
can.
need the information.
Yeah. For example, Sketchfab.
Okay.
It's have many
Yeah.
website for that. I can show now. Just I want to recreate quickly this project. How can I create this project? And for example, we need object. We need something. We need, for example, file. Right here. I changed my chair. I don't use chair now. Just for. I use this modeling now. Just I close my light. You see the scan. Yes. Also we have, this is Redshift. Also we have a cycles. We have a many render software also. When you did something, you check here, and after you finish your project, you export to rendering. For example, I delete. It's fire hydrant here. I can clone it again. My cloner is here. Everywhere now.
It's good. Not bad.
That's a very easy way to create a lot of hand, huh? Just
Yeah.
clone it. Oh my God! Imagine how much time I need in the studio.
Yeah, okay. Now I want to say something about that. This old project is not like this. Trust me. Now sometimes I work like a month for one project. A week and 3 days and 5 days and 10 days. It's every project is different. Now my project is ready, Lulu. just I change. If you have a time, 3 hours we can do it together. Just I wanna how it looks. It's software is like a real life, but if you change the parameters, you change. You saw it's more. How can I say? It's like a surrealistic. For example, we have gravity. If I change the gravity, this fire hydrant is goes up or down, and something like if you play with parameters and you change everything. But normally it's when I start also this software. Firstly, I thinking like a real life when I use this program. Okay, now we clone it easy. And after, I wanna change for example, I wanna change the size, but not like one click. I delete my random, I choose cloner, I'm going to the MoGraph, and I say random. change the scales and ways for parameters here. Everything is coming here. When you choose, it's layer by layer. It's like a Photoshop again, like for understanding. And when you choose this one, parameter is coming here. For cloner parameters is here, and random parameters is here, and everything is come to under the project. When I choose the random, I go to the parameters. I close this one. I wanna change the rotation. For example, I change the rotation, and I wanna change the scales. Uniform scale, but absolute scale, like a small and different size. So if you wanna sleeping, you think like this. If you wanna know, you say like this. Yeah, something. Okay, now I wanna add the flowers. I have plane. I'm gonna go to the without outside of camera. My skin is like this. I have a camera here. Camera perspective is here. So we have lights and here, we have a camera here. Light is here again. It's all tools is here. It's like and first we need a plane for the flowers. We open the plane. Actually, I opened the ocane because my floor is moved like a ocane. For that, you can we have a different ways for this one. For example, I opened the plane. I have a plane. I change the size. If I add the displacer, for example, if I go to the fillet, object, shading, if I add the noise like this, change the segment size. Now it's not move. Now I add the speed, animation speed. If I change the global scale, this is another way, but mine, I use the X particle for the ocane. I use this one for my project. Also now, if you wanna learn like a Blender and Cinema 4D something, if you check the software website, you saw every detail. It's like for learning especially. And have many tutorials on the websites. Also have for example, Blender community is bigger than Cinema 4D community. It's Blender artists share everything with between, right, Tess? I close this one. We not just for show you this one. This is actually, we don't need, just I open this one. We have floor and texture, and after we change the texture, because we can't see texture. Now normally this texture is wrong because it's a repeat. If I use just texture, this is not good. We should be change the texture size. For example, I choose the texture like this. Normally texture is like this. But when I add the flowers, we didn't see the floor, and it's no problem. You covered your idea and your project. And I have ocane, and after I open it matrix. Matrix also, it's like a cloner, but it's different. and I say matrix is here. I say I choose an object. You choose the matrix model. I say object, and after I add my octane. When I add the octane, and after I go to the render text and redshift for particles, and I add the custom object, I add my flowers. Also flowers is here, and I go to the close here. Also when you write here like a
Yes, sunflowers.
I check
Do you have
I think similar.
some? Okay.
This is-
okay.
This is not sunflowers, but it's similar.
Okay.
It's enough for us.
Close enough.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not 100%, but it's okay. We have flowers. And I delete this one. I have a matrix, and after I say on the matrix on the floor, show me these flowers. And we choose how many pieces. I say 5,000. Now we have 5,000 flowers, but we didn't see because this is like a no. We saw the render image now. I can open lights. I close the lights because yeah, and I check here. And after you add, you check the rendering, how it looks, and you fix it and you change it. Now we have flowers now. But now is not true. We go to the flowers because way is not good. Now I choose flowers. Okay. Now you see it's like a flowers die. We need the other way. Just close the render. We check like this way. It will be okay, I think. You know, it's not easy like this. You check everything, details, you know.
I know the pain. I use the rhino. So it's like,
Yeah,
it's
you know,
always
I know,
waiting.
I'm
It's like,
Like this, we have now 5,000 flowers. Also, I add the fog. I close the fog for now. Fog is too crazy for rendering. I close my fog. Yes. Now we see flowers. Oh, it look like a chicken. No. Okay. Now, you know, if you wanna, now it's all flowers is the same way, looks the same way. I wanna change. I wanna mix it. I wanna be more organic. For that, we go to the MoGraph again, and we go to random. You have many things here, like it's about your idea, you know. Choose the matrix, the MoGraph, and say random. Now we change the parameters, not this one, rotation. Change rotation. Now it looks. You can check now. Also, maybe we change the size scale. Now it looks more organic now. If we change the scale also, it will be looks like this and like something like this. Yeah, if you go to the camera, you are here, go to the back. change the camera angle like this.
I think at the end of the workshop,
Hmm?
at the end of the workshop, we will send to this image to audiences. If it's okay?
Okay.
Okay.
For memory.
Yes. Is it now?
I don't want to eat your time now. And
Do you have any limitations in the program? Do you feel that it's some
limitations.
or when you feel
Yeah.
limitations
Firstly,
of the
we need a good computer for
yes,
all
of
digital
course,
stuff.
yeah.
You know.
Of course, I agree with you, but for the the beginners and the audiences to when you're stuck in the program, how can you handle it? Do you change or suddenly change your program to trying to another one, or you can making it in the same program?
No, sometimes I use different. For example, by the way, when you create something like a 3D, you should be use also you need After Effects and Photoshop sometime and other softwares, and because when I finish my 3D, I export it to render, and after I go to the render, because coming like an image, it's each second come 30 image. It's like a video for video, and after you combine it and export the video and you add the sound and changing, but which limited? It's like
For example, we are making an immersive artworks, and you have different pixels, and also you need more
yes,
motion, so
yes.
more motion design, but the program is not enough to create good motions or something like that.
Yeah. For example,
Yeah.
when for museum also when we doing something and it's all project is big there.
Yeah.
It's a huge main hall. When we did the 360 and for example when I use the X particle, because we have a polygon size limitation.
Yeah.
When you use the 2 million polygon size, and maybe it's everyday software is crash. We change it. We need to find another way, because software for each artist is work different, because everyone looks different, perspective is different. Have a many way. For example, when I try this one, I say okay, I thinking about it. How can I do this project, but it's not crashing? For example, like a simulation is strong, like a water simulation. Also, for example, we have another friends in the team. He used the Houdini. Houdini software. It's just it's not just, but for simulation is better than Cinema 4D.
Okay, so all of that's my question is about to process your idea, and in the immersive exhibitions and in the digital art exhibitions, we need on storytelling, and we need on different programs, and
Yes.
then after that we match
Exactly.
it, and then after that we saw maybe we see maybe 1 minute,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
2 minutes and 3
Yeah.
minutes, but before the
It's background and project process is not okay. It's good, but
because, for example, some of my creations, visitors, audiences came my exhibition and in the immersive space, and they saw feeling, they
yeah.
wow, this is amazing. But after that, generally said,
Okay,
I
just you click
will
and you
do
did.
it,
Yeah.
Okay, it's so easy. But I always explain it's not easy. We need different things. But sometimes when you saw the first time in a digital art, something like it's okay, I did it, or I can do it, something like that. And the audience's perspective actually, not an art person. So that's why I'm asking. You need more hands
But
to.
of course, it's for example, it's for museum. We have a big team. It's more than 15 artists and other. It's everyone work together. But you know, it's like 5 years ago, before all this AI and digital, it's normally contemporary art community don't
Okay.
approve the digital
Yes.
art because they. But
But
I
that's
don't
why
know.
I'm asking the what is art in a digital age? What is art in the digital age? It's not a contemporary.
No, I know.
Yeah, but of course we know. But how can to illustrate the idea? How can you explain it? Do you have a definition in your mind to what is art in digital age? Only just tooling, only using program, or the storytelling, and then
No, if how can I say now? It's maybe it's about my I say with my practice.
Ah.
It's like it's normally my education on like a painting and sculpture and multi materials, But it's, for example, you have a huge installation, but if you don't have a space, if you don't have budget, if you don't have anything, you need to create somewhere like a or prototype or 3D or something. I built like this, but for that I don't call myself I am digital artist. I am not digital artist. I use all mediums, but when I create digital, also my background, my artwork is maybe 50%, 70% is political process and critical and conceptual. Also, I did like a contemporary art, but this is about my practice. This is my come to art history and painting and sculpture. It's all combined together. Just when I believe my idea, I can do it. That's it. Of course, it's answering. It's important and critical is important for process, but.
Okay, so makes sense.
Yeah, I like this. And we can continue more now.
And also, we have 15 minutes. Maybe you can, when you are continue, do you have a question? Questions is welcome. Yeah.
It's not really a question, but maybe it's in addition to what you're just talking about. I feel like there's an interesting connection of how Lulu, you say we have one foot in the physical and one foot in the digital, and like maybe that's what answers that question of this is emulating that we're just as responsible of how we exist as artists in the digital space, and this traditional idea of unless there's the physical example of the labour involved, that apparently it's not valid, but this is valid because we're just as much existing in this as we are in the physical. That, I don't know if that makes sense, but I just think there's interesting connection to that of like, well, what is digital art if it's only invalid just because there isn't a physical example of the labour involved.
Yes, well, actually the main problem is the word, digital.
Yeah.
Digital is something sounds on online, but we are, making it in the physical side.
Yeah.
So, and also in my curatorial practice I need a balance to the virtual and the physical side. I always needed a balance we have to use to both because of to explain something in an audiences. But sometimes digital is like an online, something online, and also it's a 0001. It's very different. It's a communication to human to computer, to human to machine, something like that. But in the art practice, I think it's very hard to understand sometimes.
The way I say is that if you think about it, throughout art history, there are different movements. When there are new movement coming in, then for the people, like say, you think about, like say, what is that? Impressionism come in. And then people say, what's this? It's like, this is not art. This is like some kind of like, no, this is because people at the time, they are so used to whatever visual presentation or whatever, how they perceive what's art. But then, if you think, I do agree with you, like, it's like kind of like, in order to introduce something, there's always like new terms. Like now the label is like, you call it digital art or virtual, like whatever that term is. is like it's still relative like new. So there's like always like this, almost always this like period that when this like new things I presented and they will meet some resistance because we just don't know how to approach that, and then like is this art or it's not art? But then, and also I feel it's also like how people's experiences that, yeah, it's like how people catch up with like the way of seeing, the way of experiencing, and then say like maybe for the younger generation, when you every day when you brought up like just okay, I do everything on phones, and so that's just how I lived most of my life. So I naturally see it. Like I have friends like collect like NFT or something because that's the way they see. Okay, this is art because that's just seeing a screen and everything is just like this is natural because that's just like environment that I grew up in. But then for when I feel there's always some resistance of like okay, this is not something I'm familiar with. So like in this, I feel this that we are at a very interesting like time right now. It's like we are at this like very verge of like we are not really going because you introduced the history of like the
Very short one.
yeah, it's really short. So if you think about it, it's like hundreds of years of like Western like art history, and then I sure lived like with digital media, and also you mentioned like this like, and also I feel like once we step into this like technology, it's like we are so much like the advancement is like innovation is like so much like you move so quickly. You just talked about now it's like 1010. We are still like in this classical computation, but maybe in 50 years from now, you will be quantum physics, quantum computer, and then that's no longer 1010.
Yeah.
So what kind of like era like that will be related to our daily life, and also relate to we have a physical body and respond to the digital world, and so I also find this interesting. We still have as long as we still have a physical body, and then how do we experience this virtual?
Yes.
Right.
But we are using the mouse and also the
There's
VR and
there's
something.
also something like something physical that we use to like experience the whatever sensation that's brought to us, no matter it's visual or like say. I think we just talked about this haptic suit, and so that I think there's a lot of like very interesting things to explore, like to create as well. Like this is like potential, like you, like when me I say what fascinating is like you're like you basically I was going to ask you, but you kind of like already answered my question. Is like you said that when there's ideas, but then you don't. As a doing installation, but then we don't have space.
Yes.
To create installation, and we turn into like digital realm because
Yes.
that's something like I say. I feel like for me, it's like I never do things like you do. Like, but then whenever I make proposal, I want to realize a project. Kind of like I need to turn into 3D software for me to even see like something about okay, this maybe can be like that. So I'm more interested. I want to ask you actually like. How do you, in your art practice now, like, what's like, how do you do it right now? It's like, are you still making like physical objects, or mostly you start from the computer? How do you find like this like in the physical making and also the digital making? What's the not really balance? How do you approach this now?
Actually, I love installation. It's my mind is better than everything on my art practices. Every time I thinking installation. It's my project is coming to me like this. But it's digital. But when I start digital also, I start like this. I don't have space, I don't have budget, but I have a big installation project. How can I do this one now? I started 3D modeling, and after I saw the 3D, and after, okay, I can do it now, because it's like an image. But now, it's AI image create for you, but it's exactly not the same. But now it's everything is changed. This is not about just my practice. In world is changed. When Picasso did painting, other people don't approve. They say this is not art. What do you do? what are you doing here? Something like this. But today, actually, it's now we opened the immersive museum. We use the body again, different body options. How can I say it's like you touching and you walking and your mind looks different. Your body emotion is changing. It's work with digital. I don't know. It's actually just I think like this. If I have an idea, just I choose the best way. How can I do my idea? It's like it's coming with painting or sculpture or digital animation or video mapping or be interactive. Now I have interactive project also. I work on interactive project, and I'm doing animation also, like for screen, for mapping, and I want to start again my painting also. But if I don't have a studio now, but when I opened my studio, I want to doing sculpture, installation, and because I love physical. But digital also is today. In my opinion,
Maybe temporary.
no,
Not temporary.
no, not temporary.
Oh,
Just I want to use this process because it's. I feel like a fast when I use the digital. You know, I feel fast. I watch outside. It's what happens outside about digital. This technology is changed. Life is changed. Everything is changed. But why I stay just with my painting? No, I say I can change my process also. I can continue because just when we focus I can create a sculpture on my studio. Okay, stay there. After 5 minutes, people go to space. You stay your studio. you need to change your life also with this process. Also, it's this medium, just medium for me. Digital, just a medium for art.
All right.
It's like this.
Okay.
You can finish.
And no, if it is your art
Actually-
finish.
Actually, my project is finished.
I know. Okay.
No, just I wanna.
Exhibit in my exhibition if it is possible.
And after they say, oh my God, 5 minutes they finish the project. This is not 5 minutes. Of course, we have many things for here. It's like I had the sky, I had the lights. For example, we have demo light here. We go to the crate, lights and demo lights. And when I say at this sky, I go there, and I have a sky here. Where is it, my sky? I can't see it. I think it's here, yeah. For example, this is my sky AXRP. And you downloaded everything. Now you downloaded texture, you downloaded sky, and if you need some object, you download it. It's have many things for 3D. It's ready. Just you download it and you combine it to your project. Plus this demo, we have demo light. Also, when it's the same demo. So when you choose all layers is coming also processes. This is first of all, so also we have octane for floor. Can I close the light for I see my project? Okay, octane is here. If I delete the texture also, we see like this. With matrix, it's moving a little bit strong. I close temporarily my matrix, and after we check the floor is moved now. It's like okay. And if you want to change the parameters, everything is here. Stamping and O'Kane size and small wave and O'Kane depth. Just you change the parameters and not just actually. Also type. You see? Also my camera is move around. It's going through. How can I say more something? It's just like this. That's yeah, but it's like a physical word. It's you need a space, you need flowers, you need object, you need sound, and after you combine it, it's like you open the light. Light is here, just you click, and light is coming. I say like easy, but easy. Trust me.
Easy peasy.
If you focus 2 months, you're doing digital.
Okay, time is up. Thank you for your attention and welcoming, and also thank you for both. And today, just only we want to explain our background and our ideas and our art practices. And thank you for coming. And yeah, that's all.
Thank you.